2 at the Theatre of Dreams now on BBC Two. Live to the Crucible for World Championship Snooker.
Hello, very good morning to you. Welcome to the Crucible Theatre here in Sheffield. The perfect start to your Sunday morning live snooker on your television. It is day 2 of the 2015 Betfred World Snooker Championship. And what a start we've had already to this tournament. Late last night, we almost lost the defending champion Mark Selby to world number 38, Norway's Kurt Maflin. What a scare this was for Mark Selby. He made a century as he opened up a 6-3 lead after the first session, but Maflin pushed the 2014 champion all the way, going into a 9-8 lead. But Selby held his nerve to see off the challenge. It was an epic first match, ending late, and Mark Selby through to the second round, the first man into the draw. Maflin, who nearly quit the sport in 2005, had to come through 3 rounds of qualifying to reach the main stage. And what a performance from that young man.
Yeah, just happy to get through, really. I mean, to be fair to Kurt, first time at the Crucible, I thought he played fantastic. Held himself together great up until 9-8. He had a good chance at 9-8 and a decent chance at 9-all, and I'm sure he'll be disappointed, but just happy to get through.
I know how tough Mark is, but I'll just keep playing my game. And if it's good enough, it's good enough. If it's not on the day, then it's not. And, you know, to lose to world number 1 and the defending champion is not too bad, 10-9, I suppose.
And when I came out after the toilet break, I noticed that the board had gone up in the middle, and for my first time when I experienced here many years ago, I played John Higgins, I think it was, and I remember coming out from the toilet and the board was up, and then all of a sudden I was like a rabbit in headlights. So I thought when I seen that could work to my advantage, and whether it did or not, I'm not so sure, but I'm just happy to win.
Fantastic day, you know, crowd was great. Yeah, it's just a really, really good experience. I just hope this wasn't the last time. I hope I'll be back next year and many more years to come.
Not well played, Kurt Maflin. Stephen Hendry was commentating on that match last night. Very early start for Stephen to look back on Mark Selby, Kurt Maflin yesterday. What did we learn from Mark Selby yesterday evening, Steve?
Well, I think we already know what a tremendous battler is, but that was probably one of his best ever wins in his career. To come through that, he was 8-4 up, he was cruising. We all thought we were going to have an early night. Then all of a sudden, Kurt played just fantastic snooker. He had a good run of the balls as well, to be fair, but he played fantastic to go 9-8 up. And then, as Mark says, possibly the realisation that he could beat the defending champion maybe hit him.
Yeah, when Kurt Maflin was 9-8 up, he took a couple of chances to try and win the frame. In that position, I suppose, when you think you've got the defending champion on the ropes, you have to go for it.
Oh, I mean, he played the right shots. I mean, I had no disagreement with any shots he played. He played the right type of snooker, aggressive snooker. He went for his shots. He missed one black off a spot at 9-8. He'd be disappointed. He was watching the cannon where the cue ball was going. The red in the final frame was one that he'll remember for a while because he didn't really have to do a lot with the cue ball. I mean, on commentary I called it a twitch, and we've all done it. It's just when you just don't think you don't know when it's going to happen. But he'll remember that one, unfortunately.
And what about Mark Selby? The relief, you know, when he looked at the crowd, he looked to a few family and friends. The relief of getting into the second round and not falling victim to the curse of the Crucible. What happens to you mentally, all that energy you've used in a dramatic first round match?
Well, it's lucky because he's got probably 5 or 6 days off to his next match, so he can go back home, he can relax, he might have a relaxing day today and then get back to the practice table tomorrow. But yeah, I mean, it's happened to me so many times. You should have gone out of the tournament in the first round, and then you come back and actually win the event. So I think he'll come back in the second round, he'll play phenomenally well. Okay, Stephen, great to see you. Thank you very much indeed. Stephen is commentating on our match for you today. The second session of the match, the first round match between England's Jimmy Robertson and Hong Kong's Marco Fu. It is Fu who has a narrow lead in this one.
Yeah, so Marco Fu has a very big chance to go into the second round and join Mark Selby today. And that's the match we're concentrating here on BBC Two on this morning. Marco Fu against Jimmy Robertson. They will play to a finish today. We'll also see Barry Hawkins, a runner-up here at the Crucible 2 years ago, taking on Matthew Selt. That match available on the red button and online. So we're all ready for a perfect start to your Sunday morning live snooker. Let's join our MC, Rob Walker.
Thanks, Jason. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to day 2 here at the Betfred World Snooker Championship. As last night's late-night drama proves, you cannot take your eyes off this tournament for 1 single second. And we're expecting more of the same here on our first Sunday session in Sheffield. Please welcome a player returning to the Crucible for the second time. 3 times a ranking event quarter-finalist, including this season's PTC Grand Finals. Now in his 15th year as a pro, he always provides good banter on tour and plays this great game with a smile on his face. So here comes Matthew Selt. And his opponent, making his 10th consecutive appearance at the Crucible. He produced a brilliant run to the final 2 years ago and made the semis 12 months ago. Winner of 2 ranking event titles, the Aussie Open and last year's PTC Grand Finals. From Kent, here comes the Hawk. Here comes Barry Hawkins. And now, please welcome a player already proving just how far he's come since his first visit to the Crucible 4 years ago. He beat China's Zhao Guodong in the qualifiers, and he's brought that belief to the big stage here. He's the pride of Sussex. Can he keep it going this morning? Please welcome Jimmy Robertson. And finally, his opponent, an absolute gentleman on and off the table. This is his 15th year here in Sheffield, made the semis back in '06. Winner of 2 ranking event titles, including the Aussie Open 2 years ago. Great to see him back amongst the game's elite. He's flying the flag for Hong Kong. So here comes Marco Fu.
So here we go then, 6 first-round matches for you today. Barry Hawkins taking on Matthew Selt. That's available on your red button, online, on your tablet and on your mobile. But the match that we have for you this morning, Marco Fu against Jimmy Robertson. They play to a finish. This is the start of the second session. A very good morning to Dennis Taylor and Stephen Hendry.
Yeah, a very good morning, Jason, to you, and a very good morning to everyone watching as the boys get ready to play their second session. And it couldn't be closer. 5-4 Fu. Just waiting until, I'm not quite sure what they're waiting for. They've started play on the other table, so obviously it will be a scoreboard issue. And Jan Verhaas there, just saying we've got a problem, Houston. Looks like an airline pilot sitting there, doesn't he, Jan? Yeah, we're ready for takeoff, Jan. Well, this is all very exciting, isn't it? Yeah. Waiting for a good start, Stephen, and nothing's happening.
Yeah, this is a bit irritating when you're a player. I mean, I'd be pretty annoyed sat there. You'd think they'd be able to sort it before you came out here. You're ready to go, you're built up, and in the arena just want to get started, and this happens. Not good.
Paul Collier, another one of the top referees, along with Jan Verhaas, just trying to solve the problem.
Wonder if it's plugged in.
Good point. Well, what about Alexander Palace that lost all the power there? Was it 2 seasons ago in the Masters? Hazel just went live and everything went down. But Marco let this slip a little bit. Jimmy Robertson come on strong. Marco led 3-1 and Jimmy won 3 frames in a row with a break of 80 there. And Marco has got quite a tough match now because Jimmy has settled. His first appearance at the Crucible when he lost 10-1 to Mark Selby, but he looks more comfortable out there. And he's right in this match. Why don't we just do it the old way with a pen and pad, you know, put the scores down. I told you know, they're watching something else there. They're probably watching cricket or something. This could be one of the longest frames we've ever had at the Crucible. Oh, you're right, Stephen. He hadn't plugged it in. Well,
I think sometimes when you're a player, you even ask the referee how long it's going to take. It's maybe worth your while just going back out again, because it is a bit frustrating. I think Jimmy looks a bit frustrated. He's ready to go. Marco never looks like anything flushes him.
He's a bit like Mark Williams, isn't he? He's so laid back, Marco. And his wife Shirley's with him here with the little girl, and she's expecting again, is Marco's wife. Another little girl expected in July, so that'll be two girls for Marco. Give us a clue, boys. Any idea how long it's going to be?
Start of, they're going to sort it up. Yeah.
The referee's just having a word with the 2 players there, so yeah, I think they're going to leave the arena. So
thank you.
Oh no, they're going to go without it. So
Marco foot to break.
So eventually, it's Marco Fu who gets this first frame of the second session underway.
But now, obviously, the players are playing towards that scoreboard, and you've got people trying to fix it. So, test of concentration here for both players.
Both players making a break of 80. Well, 80 for Jimmy, exact. 87 for Marco.
Can we use that one?
Nice to get this red away from the black. I like this shot that Marco's playing. That's freeing the black up there. Yeah, it's a little awkward with the red up the other end of the table. He could slide off a red up to where he's now pointing his cue there. That will cover that red that's to the left of the yellow. The winner of this match, I think they've got 5 or 6 days off before they would come back for their second round match. getting past this first round is the one that the players want. When you get to the 3-session stage of the championship, that's when you feel it really starts for you. And the top players, well, they are slightly more vulnerable in the opening round. Although it's the best of 19, but Marco certainly was a firm favourite to take this match, but Jimmy's making it very tough for him. No, I don't think he has covered that red. Don't know if you can see enough of it to maybe just roll it into the middle. Might only be able to see the other side of it. And he's taken the double on and wasn't far away, but a pretty good cue ball. I hadn't realised Jimmy's been a professional since 2002, so he's quite experienced now. Needs good cueing, this one. He'll get through for the black if he pots it. Well played. Decent chance this, Stephen.
Yeah, that was an excellent pot. Who's one of the best break builders in the game. Scores very heavily when he gets going. So interesting to see what he makes of this opportunity. It's decent. 3 loose reds.
9.
An angle here. I think he has to play the cannon here, because if he doesn't, the cue ball's going to be going away from the red. So the red that's closest to the black in the pack, stunning to that one. Well, that's not... I mean, he's okay, he's on a red, but it wasn't a very aggressive shot to play.
16.
But he had to go into the pack at pace there. He might not get an angle as good as that again.
Well, he's back in the same position again. Let's see what he makes of it this time, but I'm with you, Stephen. That last shot, he had a couple of reds that he could have finished on if he had have gone hard into the pack. Let's see if he plays it with a little bit more pace this time.
And that's well played. The shape of the pack, they were always going to open nicely, as long as he made a full ball contact on the red he did.
Yeah, you talked about him being one of the best break builders in the game. He's made 47 centuries last season, 33 already this season. And he's got a horrendous kick there, and it's took all the pace out of the cue ball. Might just be okay. Can still pot the black, but he would have been absolutely perfectly on it without that heavy contact. And at the moment he's got 4 reds, and this will be his 4th black.
Mark a full 25.
A lot of players would have played that black, stunning it off 2 cushions, which would mean you'd be able to play it a bit more positively. Marco chose to just drop it in.
One.
I mean, you always tend to play those with just a touch of left-hand side, and sometimes it just pulls the cue ball across if you don't strike it positively enough. So a good chance for a counter-attack from Jimmy.
8. 9.
You always feel the first frame of a session is more important for the person who's behind than in front. We certainly wouldn't want to drop 2 frames behind.
14.
Oh, he's just pulled the cue ball back an inch too far to play the red he was going for. Stretching here. That was well struck.
15.
You could see how low he was striking down on the cue ball to create the backspin to come back off the
22.
cushion. And there's a red right in the middle of that little bunch there that's sitting perfectly, as you can see. But the rest are all covering each other. You had a glimpse there with that camera angle. They're all blocking each other into the left corner, and just looking to see if there's a possibility of leaving one. But he's got a good angle on the black. He can do whatever he wants here.
Yeah, I think I can on the left-hand side of those 2 reds above the black, the left one. Yep, that's what he's played. You're always going to be on something, you would think. That's pretty unlucky there. Still got a cut to the left corner, but
30.
I couldn't see how he wouldn't be on a red nicely, as long as he canned that left red, and he did.
He just hit it half ball. If he had hit football, full ball, as you suggested, Stephen, he'd have been plumb on this red. It was a tricky little cutback. Yeah, nicely played.
31.
That's perfectly played. I mean, these tables look to be playing beautifully. I mean, he only just touched that. Come around the 2 cushions, ideally.
Yep. 38.
Looks pretty composed out there, though. Pretty relaxed. His touch is good. Striking the cue ball really well early in this first frame. He'd be disappointed if he doesn't win the frame from here.
I know he has been here before, as I said. He lost 10-1 to Mark Selby, but I think the days of the crucible nerves has gone, Stephen. It used to be a player coming here for the first time would have struggled, but because they're playing so many tournaments all over the world, they're match fit, they're used to playing the top players, and I don't think it affects the players the way it used to.
$46. $47.
Bit unlucky for Marco for this, to be fair. He did get a kick. I still expected him to pop the black, but without that heavy contact, he would have... Well, he was on his way for reds and blacks. That's what he had in his mind, and now it's looking very likely that he's going to lose the frame, unless Jimmy makes a careless mistake. And that could have been played better. He's left this a little awkward for himself.
53. $54.
That was nicely played. He's taking advantage of Marco's missed black of a spot really well here.
60.
It's what you've got to do, isn't it? If you can punish your opponent, if he's had a little bit of misfortune or he misses a shot, you've got to make him pay for it. And just checking the scoreboard there to make sure what he needs. He's 35 in front, so he needs one more red. I'm just looking, maybe he's got a funny little angle here. He might have to, you'd normally play for that red next to the pink for the same pocket that he's playing the black, but if he screws back, he'd hit the other red. And I don't know why he played that. He can still pot this red, but he thought he was going to miss that and come out onto that red.
67.
As it is, he's left as we show you the shot again. Didn't intend to cannon this red out. You can tell by that reaction that's not what he played, but it will go up past the green. So this for the frame. Looks good to me.
68. $73. 74.
He has had an 80 break in frame 5. I think
79.
if he does go on to clear, it will be his first century
81.
ever at the Crucible. I'm saying that because he's only won one frame, and I can't remember him making a century in that frame. So this is a
84.
milestone in Jimmy's professional career. He's looking very comfortable out there, it has to be said. Cueing very nicely.
$93.
Needs the pink and the black to make his first ever century at the Crucible Theatre.
99.
Very well played, Jimmy Robertson. Marco was a little bit unlucky to get the kick, but he still should have potted the black. He didn't, and he sat in his seat, and he had to watch Jimmy clear up with that magnificent century break. We're all square, it's 5 each. It's what you've got to do, Stephen, if your opponent has a little bit of bad luck. And as I say, I still expected him to pot the black, but it just shows you what can happen.
Yeah, as we see here, the amount of times this happens when you're just playing a little follow through. You see the white just stop in its tracks. But as you say, still should have potted the black. As I said, I'd have preferred to play screw it off 2 cushions here, just play it a little bit more positively. He chose to play the drop in, and it was never in. But what fantastic counter-attack from Jimmy Robertson. Never really looked in any danger the whole break.
Yeah, he's right in this match now. Marco led 3-1 and looked as if he was taking control, but it's even Stevens.
Thank you, frame 11. Jimmy Robertson to break.
See the match time, 3 hours and 20 minutes. Most of the season these players now are playing best of 7s. This is the true test here at the Crucible.
Do you think they'll ever change the format here, Stephen, and shorten the frames? Because it would be a shame, because to become world champion, you know, over the longer frames, it's the best player that comes out on top, isn't it?
Yeah, well, it just tests every aspect of your game. when you've got to find your best snooker over practically over a 2-week period. I say some of these tournaments, best of sevens, you're probably, I don't know, playing about 2 days worth of snooker.
Is there a gap through to the red that's nearest the left corner pocket? I think there might. Oh, well, there's not. Now you clearly can see there's not enough room to get past the blue. Just means he's got to get a good safety shot here, otherwise he could leave that red for Marco. Quite easily played on off that red to the right of the pink, but he's not going to risk that. I suppose you could call that a bit of an attacking safety shot, because he opened the reds nicely and he made sure he got the white over that left side of the table. If Jimmy was to make a mistake, he could leave quite a few on. So it was a simple little shot that Marco played, but very effective. Let's just have another look at it. Choice of shots, but he hit this quite thick, as you can see, and opened the reds up. Got to be careful here. Got to find the gap. And he did find the gap, but he's coming up a little bit short. Oh, he's not. It's going to drift past the yellow.
You could see there's a straight red to the right corner, and someone like Judd Trump might play that and screw the cue ball back to baulk, but that shot's not in Marco Fu's armoury. And saying that, what a shot that was. Just about to say, he doesn't have the cue for a lot of players. Well, that was a fantastic shot.
And that was all about timing. He played this with, you could see he had to lift up off the shot to get the power, as you say. You know, he hasn't got the most powerful of cue actions, but he really put a lot into that, and he couldn't have played it any better. Potted 14 long balls out of 17. That's pretty good going.
Six.
Spends a lot of time in London, Marco. He's also back in Hong Kong, so I think he spends more time in the UK, though.
7.
In fact, Marco's coach has travelled over with him, based in Hong Kong.
13.
Wayne Griffiths, Terry's son, who carried on. Well, Terry's still coaching, but Wayne followed in his dad's footsteps and coaches quite a bit in Hong Kong. Although the blacks out of commission, this is a very good chance for Marco. When they're sitting like this, you get a series of little stun and screw shots. It's the sort of way you'd have the balls for a little practice session.
Yeah, obviously it's much easier to score off the pink because you've got 4 pockets to play for a lot of the time. Whereas the black, you've only got 2. So as you say, this is a pretty comfortable opportunity, this. You think you could score enough without having to do too much with the cue ball.
21.
Doesn't want to finish short in the blue, though. Now he's going to play the pink. He's got to negotiate past those 2 reds that are on the black cushion. He'll just be playing ball. Yeah, it's pretty well struck. Both players looking good form, Dennis.
27.
Yeah, just be interested to see if he can make enough here to secure the frame.
28.
That's what Jimmy did in the previous frame, making that lovely century break. When you're playing a session at 10 o'clock in the morning here at the Crucible, you're usually up bright and early and trying to get yourself wide awake. Going way back to the 70s, 1977, when we first came to the Crucible Theatre. 3 times world champion John Spencer, who was a terrific player, used to be up and about and wandering around Sheffield chatting to milkmen at all hours of the morning. Hard to believe we've been coming here since 1977.
41. $42.
Another heavy contact there, playing a little slow follow through, but it's not affected the position this time. See the paint jumping a little bit there.
48.
Yeah, we were on this table last night, and Terry, we were talking about it. This table seems to be getting far more kicks than the other table, so I don't know what that's telling. Is it the balls? Maybe there's the 2 tables, so they should be playing exactly the same. But you know, sometimes maybe you gotta. The balls are just slightly different.
49.
Yeah, every year we seem to get players' opinions that one table's playing better than the other. And obviously when we go down to one table, they have to choose one of these to use for the semis and final. Nobody knows which one it is.
Surely the table fitter knows which one it is, Stephen.
$55. $56.
I think he played for the blue there, so this pink is obviously a little bit trickier, but be automatic on the red to the same pocket.
62.
So just this red and the pink needed to leave Jimmy needing a snooker. He's took these very well, and as you said, Stephen, it looks as if Marco's cueing very well. We know that Jimmy is with that century break, so all the makings of a cracking finish to this first round match.
Yeah, both players look like they're scoring heavily when they're in the ball, so puts more emphasis on long potting,
69.
safety play to create that opportunity. Was just really making sure that red, that was the one that he wanted to really kill the frame off.
Under frame.
Jimmy's just thinking about it. There's no point in coming back to the table. He knows he's in good form, so let's get the ball set up and get on to the next one. And that was a very good frame for Marco Fu, and he gets himself back into the lead again, 6-5. And there was one shot that I said at the time I liked. It was he could have just played a straightforward safety shot, but he decided here, Stephen, to play a more attacking safety to get the white over into the left corner. But look what he does with the reds.
Yeah, a nice thick contact in the pack. He was a little bit worried the red was going towards the right middle, but he put Jimmy in a lot of trouble. Jimmy played a good safety shot back here. He had to make the thick contact for the path of the cue ball, but what happened next was top quality. The long pot, Marco potted, and here we see it, screwing back for the blue. This was excellent. That safety shot there, Dennis, I don't think any player these days really likes to play that, because they know you could end up with a frame that goes on for a while. But obviously not after that pot. What a shot. Shot of the morning so far. That was even better than the long red in the last frame, because the way he steered the cue ball run for the black was excellent.
Yeah, brilliant. I don't think he can play the cannon here, so he's going to have to play for the red that's near the blue. He needed a slightly better angle and he would have played that cannon, so.
8.
But it was a little beauty, that, into the middle pocket. Yeah, he's a bit straight on the black. He may have to screw back off the cushion and out for that red, but it's I think it's a good enough angle to do that. I think he can screw back off the cushion. Little bit of side. If he screws it back, he can get out somewhere near there. Needs a bit of side on it. Is it hard enough? Maybe not.
16.
Well, just. Bit too hard.
17.
There's still a red at the back of the bunch of reds. It's available into the left corner pocket. May have to play the yellow or brown to get to that one. So it's the brown and back up for that red I mentioned.
21. 22.
This is the only red that's possible. Needs a good angle if he pots this on the black. And he's played that nicely. So key shot coming up. If he does screw into the back of the reds there, he might just spring a few of them out. Plenty of pace needed.
A little bit unlucky. Hit them quite well there.
37.
The red that's just loose, I just want to get in the joint of the red and the bunch there. And he would have been perfect.
Yeah, he's having a look around here to see if he takes the red up into the corner pocket past the yellow. What would he leave? And if the reds are all covering each other, he'll have a go at that. It's a sort of a shot to nothing. He would be on the black. Is it there? Is it there? It is.
38.
Yeah, well worked out. He had a look around and he knew that they were covering each other into the right middle pocket. That's why he took this toughish red on. So one more good shot needed here. And if the cannon works out, with being 38 in front, every chance to take the frame if this works out.
I think he's on a red, to the left red to the 3. They're above the black. I think he's on that to the left corner.
He's a wee bit fortunate there. I don't think he intended to cannon that red. And without the double kiss, the white would have finished tight on that side cushion. Let's have another look at this. He just played to miss that and finish nicely on the blue, but the double kiss helped it slightly there.
Wow, that's an excellent positional shot, it really is. This was the only red that went. Stunned through the gap for the black. Well, let's play the more positive stroke, I suppose. I suppose he was guaranteed on the pink or blue there, playing it that way. This is impressive stuff, though, from Marco Fu, especially after the disappointment of the first frame of the session. Shows you how good his temperament is. Just put that right to the back of his mind.
Yeah, from 4-3 down after Jimmy won 3 frames in a row. Marco had breaks of 56, 66 and 70. The only thing that stopped Marco's run was that magnificent century break from Jimmy to level at 5-all. But every chance of opening up a 2-frame advantage here. So
59.
But the standard has been very, very good from both players.
$66.
Yeah, I think a lot of the connoisseurs of the game, Dennis, like to see long safety battles. I like this. I like one visit snooker.
67.
Yeah, I remember them a few years back doing a survey asking the public which they preferred. It was amazing. It came out on top. They enjoyed the mixture, tactical play. A lot of them enjoyed that, but it's great to see a player winning at one visit.
73.
Top class snooker from both players this morning here. And he looks much sharper, Marco,
74.
in this session.
Well, I got a huge bounce off the cushion there. Cue ball
81.
came off the cushion twice as fast as it went on.
$82.
He's beat his highest break by 1 point in this match so far, but this would be some shot to keep it going. No century break, but one chance, and Marco Fu made enough to win the frame, and that break of 88 extends his lead to 2 frames at 7-5. And he does look a lot sharper here, Stephen. And there was one shot in particular, and we're going to show you that, because this, he had no easy safety shot. But if you watch Marco, you were saying, you know, he hasn't got the greatest amount of cue power in the game. He's a beautiful cueist, but for this type of shot, you can see he has to, when he delivers the cue, he has to lift up to create the power. But what a shot that was.
That was top quality. And this one, I think, was even better because it's such an acute angle. To pot the red at that pace and guide the cue ball back for the black.
And I like this shot because he knew he wasn't going to leave a great deal, and he played it beautifully, and that was virtually the frame clincher there.
But it's interesting what you're saying about Marco looking very sharp. The top players always seem to, you know, subconsciously get them play a lot better in the second session because they know it's a session to win the match.
bit awkward with that red to the left of the blue. I don't know if he can take the double on here and possibly not leave anything. Couldn't see the red, in fact, to have a go at the double. Mid-session interval coming up after this frame.
Yeah, big frame this, especially for Jimmy. Doesn't want to go at the interval, 3 frames behind. Very tough to win from 8-5 down.
Just a little bit of a stalemate at present. All caused by that red that's to the left of the blue. Might be able to do something about that now. Send it back up the table, but it's not straightforward. Got to be careful he doesn't send it into one of those balk colors. It's going close to the middle. That's got the frame back to normal.
Tried to get the cue ball in behind the brown to cover the left-hand side of the pack. Quite a big target now behind green and brown for Jimmy. Yeah, good shot. Well, I think Marco, the 2 reds that are close together, closest to the black, I think he can play off the left-hand side of those. Play a similar shot to Jimmy of 3 cushions, maybe 4 cushions. And the cue ball somewhere back to where it is now.
Yeah, that's the one he'll take, but he's got to be a bit careful. If he plays a plain ball, he could cannon the red to the left of the black spot, so he's got to make sure he avoids that. And he played it nicely. He had to play that with quite a bit of stun. And I'll tell you what, if he had hit that a fraction harder, he would have had Jimmy in all sorts of trouble. There's a path back down the right side of the table as we look at it, but he's got to be careful he doesn't send a red over the left corner. I think he can just maybe get past the pink to go down the left side. Well,
Problems. Michael Fufo.
there obviously was enough of the red available to him to snick off it, but Marco's looking at that red to the right of the pink. It's finished a bit awkward, but having said that, if he pots the black, he's going to finish on the red that's nearest the cushion, you would feel, but it's going to be awkward cueing. If he can reach this, he'll take it on. As I say, it's just a matter of making sure the pot, the white, will automatically come back across the table. He's hit it a bit too hard.
Eight. Mark of full 8.
There's no problem coming down the right side of the table. Well, I say there's no problem. It's those two reds that he has to avoid canning into. It's too thin a snick to come off one to get down the other side of the table. So he's just got to find the gap here. And he didn't find the gap. That's what he was worried about. Oh, hang on. He might be okay. Once he hit the red, Jimmy would have felt I've stuck him right in amongst them here, but it's not all that bad because I don't think that red cuts into the middle pocket. And the fact that the white's finished near the left side cushion, he's had a bit of a result there.
Yeah, you're right. We definitely would have feared the worst. The red closest to the pink is a pretty comfortable safety shot, but here he's looking just to see he's going to be knocking something towards that right corner.
And I was just looking there at that red near the middle pocket. Anywhere up past the blue spot with the white, everything's safe. I don't know if he can play off that one that's near the middle pocket and hit the corner of the pocket to get the white back up the table. I don't think it's an in-off. If he can't see an alternate, well, he's now looking at this one that's near the right corner. Well, it's far from near. It's just a safety shot he's playing here. And he's played it well. Excellent shot.
Best safety shot of the morning, that one. He caught that too thin, he'd hit the red over the right corner. If he caught it too thick, he'd get the double kiss. That was excellent.
I don't know if the middle pocket's in the way of coming off the left side of the table to land on that red near the black. We'll find out shortly, because even if he did that, he might leave a possible pot on, but that's the one I think he's playing for. Now, how's your judgment? I think he was trying to slip past those three. Left a possible long pot up past the green. Quite a bit of pressure on Jimmy. He knows the importance of this frame before the mid-session interval. Very good pot, but as we show you it again, but he's not nicely on his next colour.
Brown.
I think he can chip the brown in without canning into the green.
Yeah.
Bit of a chance now. He's going to have the cue ball cleaned. Harry Camilleri there. You could hear Jimmy asking the ref to clean the cue ball. As I say, we've had a lot of kicks on this particular table.
Six. 12th.
Similar situation. The last frame, Marco Fu was the majority of his break using pinks. What Jimmy will be doing for the foreseeable future.
$19. $20.
He's a little bit straight on this blue, I think. He might just have the slightest of angles. Yeah, just a little bit, but not much. Not the best. I'd love to have another go at that one. Didn't get enough topspin. He stunned it in, but wanted a bit more follow through than that.
Jimmy Robertson, 25.
Shouldn't really be a problem for Marco. I think he can avoid the middle pocket and just land on that red. And he's just looking to see if he would leave anything. First line slightly out a bit, possibly. But somewhere near there would just nestle onto that red and leave everything safe. Somewhere near the line. Well, the white's very close. It's in.
Foul.
Doesn't make a great deal of difference, just cost them 4 points. This has been the first tactical frame this morning.
Yeah, with this safety is a lot easier now from in the jaws of that pocket. Brown's becoming quite handy for Jimmy at the moment.
Well, we're pleasing everyone now, Stephen. We've had the frame winning breaks from both players, and now we've got a tactical frame, so this one's for the connoisseur. This is tough long red he's looking at there, needs good cueing. Had an element of safety in his mind when playing it like that.
Just a little bit of movement here, you see. He delivered the cue. This is a better line, the cue ball. Jim will just be forced to bring the red back up and leave the white ball down this end of the table here. Can't see a route back to bulk.
Yeah, just over 18 minutes, the average frame time. So. Well, he's okay, but he hit the wrong side of the red there. He could quite easily have double kissed that, but
one or two signs. Jimmy is feeling the importance of this frame. In a couple of errors so far.
he reminds me a little bit like the golfer, Northern Ireland Darren Clark, former Open champion. I'm not quite sure what Marco played there.
Well, he obviously went for the double, but I don't know what he was going to do next if it went in.
Yeah, this was the position. I think he, do you know, I think he got a kick there because he tried the double, but he tried to screw back to leave the black. Knew he wouldn't leave a great deal, and I think it kicked. That's why the white stopped where it did. But we've got a stalemate now with the red over the middle pocket, the red up the other side. Well, Jimmy's got a 9-point advantage, so he wouldn't want to have a re-rack, but there's not a lot available here to either player.
No, I can't see a way out of this situation now.
If that's touching, it might help the situation. As he turned, he has a look about Darren Clark about him. I wonder will Jimmy be one of his picks for the Ryder Cup? Captain of the Ryder Cup coming up. He'll do a great job, will Darren. Don't go in the pocket.
Just be another roll along the cushion. This red.
This is the sort of snooker you like, Stephen, isn't it? This type of play here. But they can't do anything else, can they?
I mean, there is a shot. If the red that's on the cushion below the black, if he plays that straight into the other red, then both will come away from the cushion. The only problem is it might leave Jimmy the opportunity to snooker and bind the black.
I hope he doesn't think about it for ages and then just roll into the red. That's what he's going to do. That took a bit of working out, didn't it? It'll never catch on, this type of game.
It's such an important point of the match. As I said, especially for Jimmy needing this frame. There's not going to be any risks taken.
Well, what the referee could do here, if they keep on doing this, the referee could say to them, Terry Camilleri could say, right, boys, we'll give you another 3 shots, and if it's not resolved, we'll start again. He could do that.
He could and he should.
Yeah, could and he should. But it is a very important stage in the match, in the mid-session interval coming up. He's going to be 3 in front, or 1 in front. This goes back to I remember the great Walter Lindrum, who was a genius at billiards. You know, the game played with 2 whites and a red and little cannons and nursery. He used to be able to play cannons, take the balls all the way around the table, past the middle pockets and back up again. Unbelievable.
The red that's near the right middle, he could play that straight full in the face, just knock that onto the baulk cushion. I think that's what he's doing. I'll change the situation.
Oh, 2 people thought that was a good choice of shot there. You got a round of applause. Might be able to see enough of this to pot it. So in the end, Jimmy tried to resolve the situation, and Markov slotted that lovely red in.
Yeah, I don't know if he knew the red went, or maybe it was just... I think he played the right shot, but I suppose there was risk involved.
7.
It was a great pot by Marco. It wasn't easy by any stretch.
8.
Played for the pink, but he just nudged the red in the way there. I don't... Maybe he was expecting to snooker him for the green for that red.
I think he just hit it a little bit harder than he intended. So it was a good opening pot.
The way Marco's played so far in this session, in the balls, you would expect this to become an opportunity to win the frame at this visit. When you're playing well, you do expect to win the frames every time you're at the table.
And the 2 frames he's won this morning, he won them with 1 visit. 90 plus and 70 plus break. Didn't quite get into that. Needed a little bit more screw than that. He's now awkward. Might have to use the rest. I still think he can swing it around. We'll just show you it again. He wanted the white a bit further to the left. A little bit of a stretch, but he should be okay. Now, where's this going to finish? It's not bad. Well, I say it's not bad. The reds are covering each other into the left corner pocket. And looking at the angle he has on the blue, I don't know whether he can screw over to that side of the table. He can't from that angle. He's got quite a bit to do with the cue ball to get onto a red here. He might even have to screw right back. Oh dear. Well, we just had the Grand National. Over the jumps again. That's a pet hit for a snooker player.
Yeah, it is a foul.
I don't know whether it was a foul. He hit the blue and then jumped over it, so he didn't.
Yeah.
He didn't jump an intervening ball. I think if
It's not a foul.
it's not a foul, because if you hit the ball and then you jump over it,
Yeah, he jumped on the ball.
Marcus said it doesn't really matter. So, is it a foul? Is it, or isn't it?
I thought he hit the ball before it jumped over.
Well, he's hit the blue first and then he's jumped over it. So I thought the rule
Not a
was
foul.
you have to jump an intervening ball. Anyway, it doesn't make a great deal of difference. Might do at the end of the frame. So let it stand as a foul, because I think Jimmy was saying to Terry Camilleri, I don't think it is a foul. But these boys know a lot better than us mortal players.
Nice pop. I think he can follow through with one pushing for the red into the same pocket.
Seven.
Black pots to the left corner, so if he's straight in this red, he'll play for the black. I'd like to leave this a little bit high so he can play the cannon.
8.
Yeah, I think he's got it absolutely spot on. Amazing where that's finished. He needed to play with a little bit of pace, but he didn't expect to hit that red as thin as he finished up hitting it, and that's why it's gone up past the pink. Still a bit unfortunate, though.
Jimmy Robertson, 15.
It's got to be close.
Foul.
And this time, it didn't make
Jimmy
much
Robertson.
difference the last time the white went in that corner pocket, but this time, I don't know if he can, yeah, he'd get it as close to the yellow spot just to see if he can play the pot and not cannon into the black. And that full ball kiss is okay. He's got an angle on the yellow.
1.
And he's got enough angle. If those reds, he's just checking to see if the reds will go. He's got a perfect angle to get up to those. And if they don't go, he could even cannon into possibly the black and red. They're a bit tight, but the angle he has on the yellow, he could force the white in and come up and develop things. Just depends how he feels, but that shot is on for him.
Brown.
Well, he's taking the brown and playing the snooker, so maybe he hadn't got a good enough angle on the yellow to do that.
Jimmy Robertson, 1.
Looked as if he had. Not a lot to get in behind, only the yellow. Pretty good effort.
I'll miss.
Well, he was playing that with a lot of side. That's why he finished up missing it there. That's a pretty good shot, bringing the black out into play. And he's got to be very precise with this shot, Jimmy, because he missed the red altogether the last time. I hope he doesn't overcompensate and hit it too thick this time. Oh, well played. Very good. Doesn't matter the fact that the white's coming out of the ball carry. Got the main part of the shot correct. That was the thin snick, which Marco also needs. Got to be a little bit careful this time. He can quite easily push one over the corner, so he definitely needs a good cue ball this time. And he hasn't. Should have given that a little bit more thought there. Every chance he could have pushed one on there.
A strange way of playing that shot, really. I thought we'd have played it possibly with drag, played for the pink or black. Played that a little bit negatively.
Yeah, the drag shot is where you hit the white on the bottom and you can hit it a lot harder and still take the pace out of it. You can be more accurate with it. He stuck the red up. I think he played that to hit it more three-quarter ball. It seemed to straighten up a little bit. And he's confused a little bit. Maybe this white drifted slightly. He was trying to hit that red on the right side, and it seemed to just turn a little.
One.
Well, that was a bit unfortunate. He tried to bring that tough red into play there, and he just missed the cannon because he knows he's going to need that.
Three.
He knew that if he cannons the red out, every chance he's on pink or black, but he just missed the red. So not straightforward. What is he? 12 points in front. This could have finished a little better for him.
4.
Problems now. He's got the black, but because he's close to the cushion, no way he can get to the red to bring it into play. So he got a kick there, but two things tell you. We'll show you it again there. Didn't seem to jump all that much, but you could tell it was a heavy contact. Because what he played for there was to slip past the pink and then leave a chance of a double. Now he can't take that on. Nicely played.
Jimmy Robertson 11.
I'm just wondering, looking at this, will Marco risk playing off the side cushion to hit the red half ball and maybe get the snooker in behind the green? Do you know, it is a possible chance of that coming off here. Oh, he's played it beautifully. What a shot that was. Oh, look where the red's gone. Jimmy knows that the brown's in a good position from his point of view.
One.
I think he potted that into the left side of the pocket. That's why it took the pace out of the cue ball. Let's have another look at this, see where the red goes. Yeah, in off the left jaw, and that took the pace out of the cue ball. This is a thinner snick than he wanted. In fact, he didn't even bother just bringing the brown into play, which is not a bad choice under the circumstances.
Yeah, nice shot. The fact that the yellow's more in the open makes us not so hard to hit, but to get safe is the thing.
Farms. Marco full 4.
Marco's putting everything into this frame. He knows if he can open up a 3-frame advantage, what a great chance he has. And this frame has been going now for, well, coming up to 42 minutes. 3 fairly quick frames, all won with 1 visit. But this tactical frame is the most important of this session. Can he hit the yellow? Can he get it safe? He'll settle for that. Can he get it safe? Got to be a wee bit careful if he just plays that half ball the in-off zone, so he has to hit the yellow thin.
Marco was just showed his disappointment there, not at the shot, but the fact that he's just put the blue safe.
No problem for Jimmy swerving that. He's quite a tall lad, which helps on that type of shot. But Marco could have him in trouble here. He could get in behind this black. Oh, a bit too pacey. But I'll tell you what, everyone says brought the blue into play, so he's looking to see if there's a big pocket, but it's not that big, even though the blue is just to the left of it. But I'm just thinking, you know, if he could send that in off the blue, he'd automatically finish on the green and knock the blue out of the way, but it doesn't look possible, does it? Brilliant, absolutely brilliant. Fabulous shot there from Jimmy Robertson. He knew he would flick the blue away and leave the green potable. And from a psychological point of view, this, Stephen, such a long frame, 45 minutes and counting. It's a great frame for Jimmy to win this.
9.
Yeah, this was a big frame. 8-5 down. And I found it very difficult to beat someone of Marco Fu's experience. You'd have virtually had to win the next session at least 5-1. So right back in this match now at 7-6.
Doesn't matter.
Jimmy Robertson 9.
Barring snookers, Jimmy Robertson's just one frame behind. .24 the difference. 2 snookers required. There's one of them.
Oh, that was a fantastic shot. Lots of left-hand side in the cue ball to bring it in behind the black.
It's amazing, isn't it? Jimmy just relaxed there. He thought, well, I've won the frame. I've won this long frame. And then he took his concentration off, potting the blue across the table into the middle. Has to hit this. He's going to be back in behind the pink again, though. The only thing is he doesn't want the blue near a cushion, and he wants the white tight in behind the pink. Not easy to achieve both. Don't blame him for that. He now can tie with 1 snooker because he'll get 6 points should he get the snooker. So 1 snooker to tie. And he's come up short, and now it's going to be much more difficult. Very Very well played. The frame lasted almost 48 minutes. Mark will be disappointed, but I'll tell you what, Jimmy Robertson, he'll be over the moon. He's just one frame behind. 7-6.
And they now head off for their mid-session interval. Jimmy Robertson playing ever so well. What a fascinating tussle between Marco Fu and Jimmy Robertson. Robertson has never beaten Marco Fu, who reached a Crucible semi-final back in 2006. So as they go off to the mid-session interval, a great opportunity for us to bring you right up to date with what's happening over on Table 1 this morning. This is the very start of the first round match between Matthew Selt, who saw off the challenge of Jimmy White in the qualifiers for the World Championship, taking on Barry Hawkins. Well, Hawkins leads the head-to-head stats, beating Selt 3 times to Selt's 2, but Matthew won the last meeting 4-0 this season in the first round of the World Grand Prix. We pick up the action in the first frame. Selt is on a break of 39. Commentary from John Virgo and Terry Griffiths.
Risky, this. Too risky for me.
39, Matt Selt.
Didn't look on.
Didn't go near it, did he? Didn't even wobble it. Put an inch away from the old inch and a half from the middle of the pocket.
What?
Well, it's a nice open frame, this. It seems that every time a player comes to the table, he's got a chance of a pot. The only awkward red is the one near the left-hand side cushion. That's something that Barry will have to sort out if he's going to win the frame at this visit.
Six.
Played for the pin, but he's overrun slightly. Just overhit that as well. So needs another good pot and positional shot to keep it going.
Just not getting inch perfect position at the moment. Now this could be the key shot to this frame. Pot the red and get a nice angle on the black to be able to get on what will be the awkward last red. Well, I'm surprised he played it like that. Well, the only way he can get near the red now is just go in and out of the balk end, it appears. Unless he's just going to drop it in and play for the double. No, in and out of the balk end. Good line. It's a very good line. Can't play it much better than that, but this red is still difficult. It needs some potting. 7-point lead now.
Well, is he going to drop it in for the black and give the pocket a chance, or is he going to screw back for one of the lower colours? Screw back it was. Couldn't have hit that one any better. Good stuff.
Yeah, he played that nicely. Good clean pot. Didn't over hit it.
33.
Gone into that a little bit too much. Still needs green and brown to get to the snooker's required stage. Well, he could have left it more awkward by the looks of it. But played it nicely. And this brown now will put him 20 points in front with just 18 remaining. And Matt Selt, well, that was a very risky plant he decided to take on, and it looks like it's going to cost him this first frame. And that blue going in will mean that Matt won't be coming back to the table. In goes the pin on a knife from the other side of the wall, but that's the Crucible Theatre with a two-table situation. Matt Selt will be disappointed. Barry Hawkins will be pleased. He leads 1-0.
Yes, very good start for Hawkins, making his 10th Crucible appearance into the third frame. Matthew Selt won the next one to level things up into the third. Selt is trailing 35-4.
Playing the pot. No. Well, there was the first frame where he played a plant which was risky, and he's put all his eggs in one basket there, because he knows if that red doesn't go in, he's leaving one to the left middle for certain. So I don't see the merit in that shot, particularly when you're 31 points behind and you know if your opponent gets one more opportunity, he's going to win the frame. Well, he's not taking the red to the left middle. He thinks it's a guaranteed snooker, so why not play it? And that's what Matt Selt should have played on his last visit, for me.
One cushion escape. Well, he had to catch that side of the red. He got it a fraction too thin. He's been a bit unlucky there. A fraction thicker, the white would have been down towards where the black is. As it is now, he's left them all on, as they say. Got to be taken though. Wasn't the best shot he's ever played. He played for the blue and got too much spin on.
Three.
Still not in complete control of the cue ball. He played for the blue, as Terry said, and didn't get on it right, so played the yellow, but he's still not good on this red, the one that's just to the right of the blue. If you get perfect position, then all you got to do is pot the ball, but once you have to do a little bit with the cue ball, then the position goes awry. He's played that well, and now he's recovered the situation. You'd expect him to win the frame at this visit.
Nine.
So 40 points of difference, 59 remaining. Red colour red, that's all that's required.
10.
I think Matt Selt better think about some of his shot selection here. Already played to the far corner when he had, to me, an easy snooker to lay. Can't take liberties, not at this level.
15.
So this red will put him 47 points ahead with 43 remaining. And with the blue
60.
to come, no way back to the table, you wouldn't have thought, for his opponent.
$21. 22. $28. 29. $34. 36. 39. 43.
Well, Matt Selt is going to fall a frame behind here, that's for certain. One more frame after this before the mid-session interval, so it is an important one. The difference of a two-frame or
54.
being all square. Taking these well as Barry.
69.
Nicely played. Gifted the chance, it has to be said, but there were signs there that Barry Hawkins is gaining in confidence. He leads 2-1.
Good work then from Barry Hawkins. He now goes back into the lead. Let's show you what happened in frame 4. Hawkins at the table, trailing by 7.
He's played for it in the middle.
2.
He won't be going for it in the middle, he'll be going for it down the left corner. But he'll be pleased just to get the chance here. Well.
Barry Hawkins, 2.
Well, that was an open pocket, guaranteed position in the brown and a chance to win the frame and go 3-1 in front. So a few twists and turns in this one.
Well, Matt Selt would be very relieved to have another chance. Green, brown and blue needed. Played it well. That cue ball needs to slow up. It's going to slow up and it's going to be perfect on the brown. Good shot. He's needed 2 or 3 chances in this frame, but it'll all be forgotten if he can pot this brown and blue.
Seven.
A little bit hard work of it. He left it very thin. You always get a kick off this type of shot. You'd like to be in fuller. That is okay.
12.
So a frame that could have gone either way. Both players have the chances. It goes to Matt Selt on the level at the interval. 2 frames each.
So both matches this morning finally balanced, and they both continue on the red button and online, connected television, mobile and tablet. This is where we now leave you on BBC Two. Both those matches are now back underway. So for more live snooker, head to the red button or the BBC Sport website. We'll be back later this afternoon at 4 o'clock on BBC Two. Hazel will be back at our first glimpse of the 2010 world champion, Neil Robertson. Bye for now.
Cooking, sauces and salad in a bag. Back in time for dinner in the 90s. Next on BBC Two.
They're back.
So what you're looking at here is a brand